Hi folks, welcome back to the Carver's Woodshop. This is Arlene once again, and it's been quite a while since I've done a video, about a little over a year. A lot of things have happened in the last year. It's been very, very busy with the shows and with teaching and all that kind of stuff, and I've been carving an awful lot. As if you've been following me on Facebook, you're going to see a lot of new things. The candy cane, Santa hats, Santas, and these here, and I've done a lot of nativity scenes this year because the people wanted them, and there was a great demand for them last year. So what we're going to do this year is something a little different. These are little ornaments. I wanted to change it from the branch ornaments. I got tired of doing those, so I decided to do something in the round. And in the round means doing all the sides. If you're new to this, this is kind of a nice project for you to do, especially the snowman in the center, and that's what we're going to start with today. I have a piece of wood here. Now, some of my wood has little brown blemishes, but it's not going to make any difference because we're going to paint it anyway. So that won't be a big deal. This is the dimensions on this one is 2.5 by 2.5 tall by 1.5 by 1.5. Okay, and what we normally start with is with the hat and the tassel. So just to update you a little bit on some tools, I've been experimenting with some different tools. I've been using a utility knife. I saw that before by one of the other carvers and decided to try it, and it worked very well with my grinder that I have that I created last year, or a couple of years ago. And it's worked really well, and I put one together, and the only thing is it's very good to do stop cuts. It's a little hard to do really small detailed work with it, so I go from this one to a pocket knife to whatever's my sharpest tool in the box, to be honest with you, or the Murphy knife. I use that a lot as well. But one of the things that I just want to explain, one of the things that I could not resell is the dockyards. Many of you are familiar with the dockyards. Well, the dockyards are no longer being made, from what I understand. I think you still can get them, but I decided to quit selling them because I don't want people trying to constantly call, and then if I can't get them and all that. So I hooked up with somebody else that can provide me with a new one, and I've been using this one quite a bit. It's a 4.5 M. The other were a 3 M. This one's 4.5, a little bit wider, which I like, and it works really, really well. I do sell these. This V tool is it's $16.50 for it. Because they have to be reground. When the original one, they had these little wings sticking out at the top, and it didn't work correctly. So what I ended up doing was having somebody that knew how to do these very well and regrind them for me the way I wanted them to be done. And so if you're interested in it, it's $16.50. If I have to ship it to you, add another $4 to it. It would be $20.50 to ship it to you anywhere in the US. Okay, so if you're interested, I have 3 or 4 now. I can always get more. Just let me know. Okay, let's go, because I use the V tool quite a bit. So these are 2.5 inches tall, 1.5 by 1.5. It's a very simple way of doing things. I'm still using my water solution, which is 50% rubbing alcohol and 50% water. And you have to be careful, because if you overdo it, you're going to end up having it check or split at the top. Now, if you let it go for a while, it will take care of itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it right where the top of the nose. Well, how I had this all drawn out first, I took this line down around. This is going to be where the nose is, so I have it draping over, as you see over here, draping over the nose. And we go down this way, all right, and then not to the bottom, but about maybe a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. and I rounded it up all the way around. Okay. The first thing I do is I notch out each corner. I notch out each corner above there and here. I drop this out in, oh, that's not going to work. I dropped that out in my gravel driveway. That's not going to work. Okay. Don't forget to put your thumb guard on and your glove if you're new to this. And so we're going to just cut each corner out. Then the nice thing about this utility knife, I use this a lot to do my first initial cut. I can really get in there kind of deep, but you don't have to. But you take the tip of your knife and you just follow your line up and around. Let me do this up and around. And I go down the other way. Now one thing you want to be always mindful is how the grain is running. The grain is running up and down when you measure it out. The grain, 1.5 is your end grain here. 1.5 by 1.5 and 2.5 inches tall. And then I also take the same thing and I just start to figure out where the hat goes. It's not a difficult project. And I think a beginner would, this is a very nice beginner one if you want a project, if you want to try it. Okay, I've been extremely busy here at the farm. We've been doing roofing, some of the driveways being redone. It's just been kind of crazy here lately. So I'm going to go back to my other knife here. And so we know exactly where the hat is. Then I start scooping it out on each side. And if you're not sure about making it nice and round at the top here, you can always draw a little bit of a line here to figure out how far you can go so you don't go too far. Alright, so let's do that. I'm going to go up to that line all the way around. Now when I do these segments, they're usually about 10 minutes long, and then I stop and then I start it over. I come back and continue. So that's just easier for me. I can kind of assess what I'm doing and making sure I have everything right that I'm telling you here. Alright. So that's probably as far as I want to go right now with that. Alright, and then I'm going to go underneath here again and cut a little bit deeper, up and around. You have to be careful you don't break off that tip of that hat. I'm going to go a little bit deeper here, just like so. I'm just going to take that little tip off right there at the top. Alright, and we'll be right back.